What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit.
And it comes on finals night, and it's another
Andreas Dirty Harrison! Van Velzen!
Touch my hand, it all goes away. The things I planned, the things I would say, now I get rambling on. I sound so
Well, Brandon Weening, he looped one over the top. Yes, he can. Double 13. It's wonderful. Finds chops. He wins the match.
On the first leg. Yeah, they might not be coming from Cupid, but the arrows will be flying tonight here at the MODUS Super Series. And you may have noticed that Henry Deacon's got the night off. He's obviously got other planned. We will grill him on that tomorrow. But this evening in the Lonely Darts Club, it's myself and Matthew Egg. Matt, it's been a decent-ish week so far, but tonight there's going to be some disappointed players at the end of it.
There is. This is going to be a group that's all quite bunched up at the moment. Everyone picked up a win yesterday. That's very important on that opening day because you can still get through with 0 points if you're going into the second day. However, when you've got that win, if you turn up today and these things start unfolding, you can really unfold for those players in those top 3 very, very quickly.
Yeah, should have said heartbreak, shouldn't I, there? Anyway, Group C this afternoon, Justin Smith and Henry Coates, the 18-year-old, getting through. What did you make of both of those deserved qualifiers?
Yeah, they were the two players really that were the favourites going into it in regards to the odds and probably the favourites in regards to how we felt about things. Justin Smith didn't quite get it going in the first part of the week, but his ton plus checkouts really did shine through. 9 ton plus checkouts in his Group C campaign, along with 10 maximums as well. So he really did turn up today. And that was really important because he was just off the pace a little bit, needed to find his very best. Henry Coates was solid all the way through, a very rightful qualifier here on debut. He could be one of those players that goes all the way on debut.
Yep. Well, let's just show you the breakdown for this week. Those two players through from Group C, Justin Smith and Henry Coates. Richie Howson, of course, who won the Legends League earlier in this series. He's through as a winner of Group A, and tonight we'll see Van Trijp, Weening, McGuirk, O'Shea and O'Keefe battle it out for a place at finals night. Before we get into this evening's action, here's a quick reminder of what happened yesterday.
There's one. It's double 13. It's wonderful. Gets McGuirk first poke. Another one of them will leave himself double 16. Well, this is incredible. Double 19. Ball. Oh! Scaife 25 ball here, and it's a block ball. Can he loop one over the top? Yes, he can.
And after finding the heart of the bullseye brilliantly there, Danny Van Trijp tops the table. Level on points with Brandon Weening, the Australian, on debut at the Super Series. Shane McGuirk in that final qualification spot could have a real battle with fellow Irishman John O'Shea, Kelvin O'Keefe. I mean, they're all still in contention, but Van Trijp and Weening don't look far away. Let's start with Danny. What have you made of the Dutchman on his return, having fallen off the PDC Tour?
I've been really impressed with Danny. I think there's been moments where his game has looked like that of what we'd expect on the Pro Tour. The biggest issue has been just taking full control of a game. There's been so many times he's gone 2-0 ahead, missed 3 darts to take full control, go 3-0, and then he gets embroiled back in battle again. That can happen in this short format. It's very easy to do, but he's one of those players that just needs to find just a little bit of consistency.
He loved it as well, didn't he? I believe that was aimed at Henry Deacon last night. Danny Van Trijp really enjoying his return to the Super Series. You said it, didn't you, that maybe he's someone who went too early and this could really be somewhere he thrives this year. Brandon Weening, different. He's from the other side of the world. He's been here for a while, staying with Simon Whitlock. Is he starting to grow into the week and really now showing what he can do?
Yeah, I had a really good chat with him earlier on today, actually, and he's a very driven character, and you don't realise like, how much passion he's got for the game till you spend 10 minutes in his company. And what he wants to go and do, he's very driven for the very, very top. He's someone who wants to go and attain that PDC Tour card. He's going to go and have another go at it. He missed out by a matter of legs on leg difference on that occasion. However, he's got an opportunity here to make sure he goes back on Sunday to Australia with something in his hands. He's got a very, very high ceiling, as we have seen throughout this week, and I do expect that he'll get the job done tonight.
Yeah, and that's how good he can be. 108.62 average in that last match of the night. That'll be the first game of tonight. Just shows what he's capable of.
Yeah, he's very nice, easy action. But just like Danny Van Trijp, it's the same scenario. He finds himself getting ahead and then getting embroiled back in battle again. I'd like to just see, like we saw in that last game last night, a little bit more of that. A little bit more of when the nose gets in front, then take it to another level. But it just seems for those top two at times, certainly throughout the entire week, that when they've got the nose in front, they've just been embroiled.
Right, let's show you the odds then for winning the group this evening. Danny Van Trijp now odds-on favourite. Brandon Weening second. No surprise there. They're the top two. Shane McGuirk 7-2. John O'Shea 22-1. And Kelvin O'Keefe on the same points as O'Shea with just one win last night. 50-1 outsider. If you are going to have a bet, it is 18 plus gambleaware.org, and of course when the fun stops, stop. Matt, who's getting through from this group?
Honestly, I think the players that are in the top three at the moment, I think they're probably going to stay there. John O'Shea's probably going to give him a run for the money. I think the leg difference that he's given away could be a bit too much, because he's not just got to beat people, he's got to beat them by a bit of a score, and that might be the thing. Kelvin O'Keefe, shown flashes, but this group seems a bit too consistent for him.
Okay, we'll get the matches underway. The first of them features a WDF World Champion, Shane McGuirk. He's taking on Brandon Weening, looking for revenge for that demolition by the Australian on him last night. And I caught up with him earlier to get his thoughts ahead of trying to qualify for finals night. Shane, one last push to make it through to finals night this evening. First of all, just sum up how you felt it went last night.
I think I started very slow last night. I think in my first game there was a lot of missed doubles. I don't know there's no excuse for it. Like, there was too many missed doubles there, and I got away with it. Still got the points on the board. That was probably the main thing. But I got a couple of wins last night. Probably felt like I underperformed for myself. I started getting into it near the end. So the key thing today is probably to start well early and just kind of get enough points to get through the Saturday night as quick as I can, and that's what everyone's going to try to do. So it's going to be tough, but I'm up for the challenge. Yeah,
it's a good standard of player in this group, but is it kind of your opinion that if you win half your games in this group, then that'll be enough to get through to Saturday, or are you just taking one game at a time?
No, I want to win all my games as much as everyone in that room wants to win all their games. I know at the end, then, if you only win half your games and you get through, you'll be happy, but going in, everyone wants to win, no one wants to lose. I wouldn't go in with the mindset just to win half my games. I want to beat everyone. I want to prove that I'm the best here, and every single one of them lads in there and every single one of the lads in the other groups is going to do the same thing. So we're all battling for the same thing, and we all want to be champion at the end of the week. So hopefully it goes my way.
But you did win quite a big one, didn't you? World champion at the Lakeside. It's the first time back since you've been here.
Yeah.
Has that given you kind of more pressure, or has it given you an air of sort of invincibility? How are you feeling about sort of carrying that burden?
I don't know. I've taken a wee bit of a break since that. Like leading up to it, I did commit to it fully. Like, I was practicing every evening, which I don't normally do, and it was just every evening. It was a good few hours practice and stuff, and it worked out for me. Like, I knew what I needed to do to prep for it. And then I just decided this year, because we ran into Q School Challenge Tour, and I only played half the Challenge Tour, and then I decided to just take a couple of weeks off, and then I'm here. So the prep probably wasn't as great as it should be, but I'm happy enough with my game at the minute that I can actually come in and still do it. The belief is there, especially after winning the world title. Like, the belief is there, the confidence is there. So it's just to do it here and do it on Saturday night. Finally, hopefully I can get one over it.
Yeah, another title awaits possibly. Good luck.
Thank you.
It has to get there first, of course. Shane McGuirk, the Arrow, looking to book his place at finals night, and he's got a little bit of a task ahead of him. A win here, though, and things look very, very interesting with the top 3 tied on 6 points. But that performance that we just spoke about from Brandon Weening, the 108 average from the Python last night, showing what a great player he can be when he gets in the swing of things. Shane McGuirk certainly showed that at the Lakeside, but look at that. 5 times he's made the semi-finals. Once he's been runner-up. He's determined to cross the line at the Super Series. Will it be this week? If he doesn't win this first match, then, well, Brandon Weening's pretty much home and hosed in terms of qualifying for Saturday himself. But McGuirk is then looking over his shoulder at John
First
O'Shea
leg, it's Brandon
and
to throw
Kelvin
first.
O'Keefe.
Game on.
Jack Garwood gets the action underway. Myself, Chris Murphy and Matthew Egger will talk you through tonight's 10 matches.
Yeah, looking forward to these matches as we're going to complete our Saturday night lineup.
78.
Shane McGuirk didn't quite produce the goods yesterday, certainly not to the level of which would be expected now that he carries that title, which you described potentially in that interview as a bit of a burden. And, you know, we've seen players in the past, certainly with that WDF title, where it's not quite worked out for them. And I'm a firm believer now in the position of the WDF World Championship,
83.
that it's how it ages with the player regarding how that individual title is perceived. Because a lot of people talk about our commentary colleague Glenn Durrant being one of the real relevant winners of that title, but you tend to find that only because he went on to then win the Premier League. And for that title now really to be perceived in the darting public, I think, with the relevancy of which it warrants, I think a lot of it will come on what Shane McGuirk does from this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it was a little bit of a leading question, but it's kind of the
require
way that
160.
I've seen it based on what he's done since. Or what he hasn't done since, maybe a better way of framing it. But that could change this week. Although Weening is the aggressor here. A 180, followed by
140.
almost a 160 checkout.
Well, not surprised he's ready and hitting the ground running, because in between sessions I jumped on the stage earlier for a little practice, and
50.
Brandon Weening rocks
Brandon,
along
you
for a
require
throw, and this was
20.
about 5 to 6. So he's had a good 4 hours in terms of preparation. Not working out for him on the outer ring, though, at the start of this one. Shane McGuirk getting an opportunity now to try and complete the job that Brandon Weening couldn't.
Weening will come back, having intentionally
100.
busted score
Brandon,
to return to double 10.
20.
To hold his throw in the first leg. Slight adjustment of position on the oche now. It is double 5.
10.
And it was
Shane, you require
leg
60.
that seemed to be going his way, but now McGuirk may pinch it.
$20. Brandon, you require 10.
Looking in with a bit of hope there, Shane McGuirk, hoping that he completed the steal. But we do see this from time to time in Brandon Weening, just sucking a little bit of the pace out of the game, trying to control his emotions rather than letting the emotions control him.
Game shot on the first leg.
And
Brandon
normally
Weening.
works out quite well for him.
Got there in the
Second
end.
leg, it's Shane to throw
8
first.
attempts at doubles there
Game on.
before Brandon Weening landed that double 5. McGuirk coming down for cover.
134.
No real damage done. It was only a holder throw, but it's an opportunity to break there for Shane McGuirk that he hasn't taken.
$96.
You could see yesterday the frustration at times for Shane McGuirk, who was probably wondering, why? Why am I missing? Why am I not taking these opportunities?
137.
Where tonight he almost looks a little bit more aggressive rather than the hopefulness of last night.
Perfect first start from Weening. He just felt he would follow. He does with dart number 3. Just gets himself back into this leg. McGuirk should be leaving a finish. Even 3 single 20s would get him down to 1.
100.
Manages a little more than that.
45. Shane, you
Almost
require
a bit of a replication of
130.
leg number 1, the player throwing first with the luxury of time.
Well, he had a little time check there, didn't he?
98.
Decided against going for the bullseye, wants to play it safe and play it smart.
$140. Shane, you require 32. Game Sean, the second
You
leg.
feel that's what Shane
McGuirk.
needed very early in today, a bit of a drama-free leg where he's sort of 5 visits,
Third leg,
sub
it's
15
Brandon
darts.
to throw first.
And that one, a nice little
Game on.
14 darter for Shane McGuirk to hold the throat.
And this is where he needs to pounce. Weening on throw, only off 45. McGuirk wanting to weigh in big, and that's the perfect start. It doesn't get better than that.
When you look at the fixtures and how it all breaks down tonight, though, Shane McGuirk is under pressure early here. Because if he is to lose to Brandon Weening, Weening will pull 4 points away from him. And then he'll be playing John O'Shea, who will have a game in hand anyway.
60.
Where a defeat to John O'Shea would really dampen Shane McGuirk's chances. Tonight
61.
where he needs to hit the ground running. Try and discover some of that form that he played with that Lakeside, where him himself didn't expect to do that. He didn't expect to be playing with that sort of quality of which he's shown. He actually booked his flight
96.
home after the first couple of rounds, went home and did a couple of days' work in between the middle of that World Championship win.
Didn't drop a set until the final. And almost
100.
didn't drop a set in the entire tournament. He was one set away from doing that, wasn't he? Remarkable.
He also had, for the very first time, a game with 100% checkout rate. Didn't miss a single dart at a double.
41. Shane, you require
Real
106.
defining moments.
Is this going to be a defining moment of this match? Another? Well, it doesn't matter because he can leave himself a double
140.
and Brandon Weening can't do a thing about it.
$101. Shane, you require 20. $16.
Well, he had a chance to break
Brandon, you
in the
require
opening leg.
158.
If Brandon Weening is to take this, this would be very, very painful. He took 5 big finishes out yesterday.
Just looking at Shane McGuirk's face in the background there as well. I think that's because he tried to bust, didn't he? And still hit the single one.
43. Shane, you require 4.
Didn't want to end up here,
No score.
and that's why.
Brandon, you require 115.
Couldn't even look in the direction there, Brandon Weening, could he? Just focusing purely on the wall at the side, and I'll be very hopeful that he doesn't hit a game shot. Tops for Brandon Weening.
75. Shane, you require 4. Game shot on the third leg.
Relief
Shane
in the
McGuirk.
end for Shane McGuirk, but it is the crucial breaker throw that he required. 2-1 lead. A
Fourth
reminder
leg. It's Shane to throw first.
that if McGuirk
Game
wins
on.
this match, there'll be levels you devils at the top of the table. 6-6-6 in terms of points for Van Trijp, Weening and McGuirk.
40.
Van Trijp in action next against Kelvin O'Keefe.
I don't normally like to do the game of what ifs and the crystal ball scenario. However, this night could be over very
98.
early. Danny Van Trijp is to beat Kelvin O'Keefe. Shane McGuirk completes this job and beats John O'Shea. There is a sizable gap then between the qualifying positions and the players at the
97.
bottom, and the leg difference may be pretty much impossible to turn around.
Regardless, we will bring you 10 live matches tonight on the Super Series
45.
Darts channel. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on Pluto TV. Following tonight's show, we've got
43.
Luke Humphreys at the Live Lounge. Popped down late last year for a chuck and a chat. Some fun challenges, exclusive interview with the world number one. Do stay tuned for that
85.
if you are staying up late this evening. Things obviously didn't go to plan for you today, but we will keep you company.
85.
Weening here, bidding to break straight back.
141.
That was quite a strong theme last night as well. Players breaking and then instantly giving back the throw. And by that, I don't mean being rebroken. I mean almost dropping the levels and inviting the player to come back
Brandon,
on.
you require 132.
Sort of the difference between the play on words between losing something and getting beaten.
Needed at least the 25 there. The outer ball could not be located, so McGuirk will get the opportunity
82.
to extend his
Shane, you
advantage to two
require
legs.
56.
Doubling hasn't been too sharp for either player so far in the game. McGuirk puts
Shot
it
on the
right
fourth
and
leg,
leads
Shane
3-1.
McGuirk. Fifth leg, it's Brandon to throw first. Game on.
Little shake of the head there for Brandon Weening, probably wondering what difference a few hours make. Because the last time he was on that stage, when he finished yesterday, he averaged 108.62 in this exact fixture.
43.
Right now, averaging just 79.
Well, you identified how crucial the start of the night was for Shane McGuirk, playing 2 out of the first 3 matches. He did himself, didn't he, in the interview?
83.
Really needs to start well tonight. And yes, the performance is nowhere near what Brandon produced against him yesterday, but the scoreline might be exactly reversed, 4-1 in his favour, and that is a pretty perfect start.
100.
Some players just love that bit of jeopardy. They prefer to play with that need, that pressure. Then you get to play with excitement.
60.
I suppose for Shane McGuirk, that's what he's got to try and find again. It must be pretty difficult when you've played a game for £50,000 against a legend of the sport in front of a packed, iconic stadium.
100.
We do keep trying to make it work, by the way, for Paul Lim to come to the Super Series. Just haven't been able to
140.
name a date quite yet, but we're interested. He's interested.
A bit of an exclusive you're giving out there, Murph.
I'm just trying to sort of force him into doing it. If you're watching, Paul,
44.
stop ghosting us. It's Valentine's Day. Hey, to be honest, he's played in everything else, hasn't he? Another one ticked off the list.
123.
Imagine he came here and did a 9-darter.
Limbs. 95 to finish it here for Shane McGuirk.
138.
Options on it. Could be treble 19.
Shane,
Could
you
go for the
require
ball.
95.
Well, he's nowhere near the treble. Is he now going to go for double-double? That was the intention in the end.
55.
He tees up tops, but
Brandon, you
Weening gets a look
require
at 76.
76.
1 for 9 on the doubles, Brandon Weening. May only be the one. It's going to be at tops.
56.
Same shot. Target for
you
Shane
require
McGuirk.
40.
This is for the points.
Wasn't too far away, Weening. McGuirk needs double 10.
Game shot and the match. Shane McGuirk.
Which he gets to reverse the results from the final game of last night. He starts with a bang tonight, McGuirk. Yeah, he loved it. A 4-1 success that really will settle him down now. He's sitting pretty in second place in the table. 3 of them tied on 6 points, including the man he's just beaten. A little bit of a reverse in the leg difference as well. He is now 4 better off than Brandon in that department. Danny Van Trijp sits at the top of the table. Kelvin O'Keefe is at the bottom, and those two will do the Tungsten Tango next.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yeah. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series live on Pluto TV. Thank you for spending your evening with us, an evening of arrows and entertainment. Who will win the darts tonight? That is the question. Kelvin O'Keefe and Danny Van Trijp, the next two in action. And Van Trijp pretty much put himself through here. If he can see off the 40-year-old debutant from Wales. 8 points. Looks likely to be enough in this group. And the Dutchman will get there with a victory here. And that suggestion that the evening could be over quite quickly from Matthew Edgar could well come true if Van Trijp were to win this one and then McGuirk were to do a job I'm trying to
First
Shane, the one that
leg, it's
followed, it
Kelvin
would look
to
all
throw
but over, wouldn't it?
first. Game on.
Yeah, there won't be much left to play for. It'd need big wins, sort of 4-0s, 4-1s to be able to turn it around. But I'm really interested to see how Kelvin O'Keefe gets on tonight.
100.
Shown some good signs, some good flashes yesterday that really do back up that performance that he had at Q School on the final day, where he was just a matter of legs
41.
away from picking up a tour card. Lost out 6-4 in the final game to Jim Long. Someone who's had plenty of success here at the Super Series. But there's something I'm noticing straight
60.
away here, and these darts seem to be going into the board a lot firmer tonight. It was very loose last night. Ended up with quite a lot of bounce outs, which was something we
100.
predicted from the very second I started watching him throw. But one thing that he's going to have to sort of work on within his game
40.
is getting the height on the dart, because the darts sit up very aggressively in the board. So when he's going low like he is at the moment, he's just going to be causing a blocker there on the
45.
treble 20.
It may be some early nerves last night, making his debut, of course, at the Super Series. We've seen a few that have kind of been rabbits in the headlights. I think you've got to look at Luke Smith in Group C.
100.
Second appearance now, yet to win a match. 15 without a victory now. Probably
59.
that's 20 without a 20 without a victory, isn't it? Justin Smith, the other Smith in that group, faring rather better.
100.
He's through, along with Henry Coates and Richie Howson, who won Group A earlier in the week. The final three for Saturday's showpiece will be
100.
confirmed
Kelvin, you
at the end of
require
tonight.
101.
O'Keefe looking to try and get himself in the mix. And we were just talking about how the evening could look over if the next two results go the way you might expect. If they go the
69.
other way,
Kelvin,
the
you
evening
require
looks like it's going to be going on
156.
very, very late, because there'll only be 2 points between all of the players in the group.
Which is kind of what you expected before a dart was thrown.
67.
That this would
Kelvin,
be a
you
very
require
tight and
32.
contested group.
$28. Danny, you require 89.
89 becomes 32.
57.
Can't find it.
Kelvin, you require 4.
O'Keefe returns for double two.
Game shot on the first leg. Kelvin O'Keefe.
It was a leg that he felt like he dominated really from start to finish there, Kelvin O'Keefe. And
Second
Van
leg.
Trijp
It's
had the
Danny
chance
to
to
throw
steal.
first. Game on. $60.
Just taking a moment here, O'Keefe, before approaching the hockey, making sure that he's reset and ready for the next leg.
see, look at the difference when he gets the dart above the treble.
100.
Keeps that bed open. Actually gives him a little bit of a mark, a little bit of a backboard, a little bit of a deflection possibility.
100.
Rather than it being under and then him hitting into the tungsten and running the risk of the bounce outs.
Did see Danny Van Trijp in the previous
55.
edition of this tournament in Southampton. The online darts live league hit a 9-dart finish, and it's probably
43.
the favourite reaction I've ever seen. He just looked to be in pure shock at what he'd just done. Van Trijp.
$41. $100.
I think one of the things that we can say about the players in this group is they've all got big ambitions. Danny Van Trijp dropping off the Pro Tour at the back end of last year. We know what his aspirations are, and that is to
6.
get back there. But get back there being a better player, being a more experienced player, wanting to have a year of winning this year with the Challenge Tour and the Super Series and
45.
represent the Dutch national side once again. Shane McGuirk, John O'Shea, Brandon Weening, all attending Q School. All will be attending it again next year, I'm sure, as they want to get onto that Pro Tour. And
100.
as discussed, Kelvin
Danny, you
O'Keefe was
require
very close to picking one up
153.
himself this year for the first time.
137.
Good
Kelvin,
leave.
you require 145.
From DVT.
$65. Danny, you require 16.
Missed a couple in this corner of the board in the opening leg. Misses a couple more. Now moves to double
Game
four
shot on
and
the
finds it
second
to
leg.
level up
Danny
at one
Van
apiece.
Trijp.
Not the greatest standard being produced by this pair so far.
Third leg, it's Kelvin to the
Plenty in the
first.
tank.
Game on.
Just get the sense if one of them can put the foot down, then they can race to victory.
97. $137. $97.
Well, the issue is he's going low on the treble 20, which means he's having to switch. But the positive is when he's switching to the 19s, he's been very successful.
40.
Jack Garwood, the referee, locating the dart that nearly hit him.
No, I don't want to be too morbid about this, especially on Valentine's Day.
100.
But I think that could possibly be the
the
most viral clip that would ever happen at the Super Series if that would have stuck in his leg, for example.
60.
Stuck in his
Kelvin,
head,
you
and it would
require
definitely be the most viral clip.
127.
127 and game. Well,
41.
he's got time on his side, but it's a good job.
$140. Kelvin, you require 86. $61. Danny,
Van
you
Trijp
require
himself would love a go at the ball at the end of
164.
this combination. Oh, he's not sure that's the combination he wants.
Yeah, the last score was a 140, which would have left
Danny's
him
last score was
124.
140.
Okay. Yeah, so 124. Wait, he would have got 164 anyway.
113.
Cannot get the
Kelvin, you require
124.
25.
Brilliant attempt, especially after the distraction of having to get the score corrected.
Game shot on the third leg. Kelvin O'Keefe.
But KOK is A-OK at the moment.
Fourth leg. It's Danny to the row first. Game on.
Can make you question yourself, can't it? It's probably one of those ones he'll want to watch back
60.
just to make certain it was a 140.
Yeah, I mean, it shows awareness from Danny, doesn't it? Because there are players that will just throw the darts and not even really know what should be left.
You do sort of just lose
100.
yourself in this part of the game. It's normally at the back end of the game where you start becoming a little bit more aware. Although that self-awareness now has to start
60.
coming a lot earlier, doesn't it? As the levels of the players are getting so similar that the advantages can come now in sort of the breakdown of the opening six.
77.
Again, as Matt suggested, trouble when the dart is low on that treble 20 that time. Couldn't even get one to stay in the board near it, but when he did go for cover, he found
60.
treble 19.
I was running a little tally on it yesterday, and in the early part of the session, he had 5 bounce outs. A can't give you full disclosure about how many it was because I forgot to do the tally for the back end of the day.
60.
Which means it can't have been as frequent.
The lowest running average of the evening, Kelvin O'Keefe, but the most 180s. Lots of trouble on doubles last night for him. Just 22.86%.
100. $91. Kelvin, you require
Nice pick off with the last there to leave it quite handy to 130. Gives you 2 darts at that treble 20 which you've been throwing at. That is assuming Kelvin O'Keefe cannot take out the 164, which he's not able to do so.
98.
Danny Van Trijp to level it up, but Kelvin
130.
O'Keefe in striking range.
94. Kelvin, you require 66.
Well, this would really put Kelvin in pole position, and he gets 2 darts at double 18.
Gets on
Only
a full
requires
flag.
1.
Kelvin O'Keefe.
Well, this is starting to get very interesting. We saw the first
Fifth
match
flag. It's Kelvin to throw first.
go the exact opposite
on.
way last night. McGuirk winning 4-1, having lost 4-1 against Brandon Weening on Thursday. Now, Kelvin O'Keefe is looking to return a 4-1 result to Danny Van Trijp.
It almost feels a little bit misleading, this game, in a way, because it feels like Kelvin O'Keefe is playing quite a polished game here, and then when you look at the averages, including the 140 just hit, he's averaging just 79, but it feels like he's playing a lot better than that.
Still maybe because it's higher than his running average for last night, which was 77.5. The checkouts have certainly been cleaned up. We mentioned that 8 out of 35, 22%. He's actually at 37.5%. 3 hits from 8 attempts. So we are seeing an improvement at the start of the evening from Kelvin O'Keefe. And while this group threatened to be over and done quickly, it might actually get very exciting, this.
60.
This could be a chance for Kelvin here to finally get one up on Danny Van Trijp. They met on the Challenge Tour not long ago. Danny Van Trijp winning on that occasion.
134.
Danny winning last night's meeting as well. So maybe he's just being a little bit comfortable here going up against an opponent that he's played quite a bit over the last sort of 4 weeks.
85.
Van Trijp would have left a finish had he hit the 25 or bullseye last go.
60. Kelvin, you require
Now the game could be
116.
finished. 116 on offer. That could be used. They managed to sort of find the flight, but it actually diverted the dart low.
60. Danny, you require 112. $56. Kelvin, you require
Oh, look
56.
for Danny. And Kelvin O'Keefe can get off to a flying start that will really get this race going. Double 10. And there it is. And once again, we've got a result reversal here at the MODUS Super Series. A 4-1 defeat to Danny Van Trijp last night is answered by a 4-1 win this evening. The Dutchman leaves the stage after a quick chat with the referee Jack Garwood after some confusion over a finish earlier in the game. But it's a game that goes the way of the Welshman Kelvin O'Keefe, who with it moves within 2 points of Van Trijp, McGuirk and Weening. And John O'Shea can put himself in the same position if he can defeat his fellow Irishman McGuirk after this break.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie, you
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie,
approaching the
require
Oki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that
Charlie,
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie,
Threw
you
the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require
I
20.
think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Well, it's been an evening of revenge so far here at the MODUS Super Series. 2 total turnarounds, 4-1 defeats last night, turned into 4-1 wins tonight. Shane McGuirk, the first to do that when he beat Brandon Weening by 3 legs, having lost by that margin on day 1 of this group. And then Danny Van Trijp going down 4-1 to Kelvin O'Keefe in a reversal of the result from the night before. McGuirk now looking to put himself top of the table if he can defeat fellow Irishman, the Joker, John O'Shea, 49 years of age from Cork, a former semi-finalist at Champions Week, no less. Can he reign supreme on week 4 of MODUS Super Series 10? A win here is probably paramount for John O'Shea.
First
Defeat,
leg,
and
it's Shane
he's
to
4
the
points
road
adrift
first.
of the qualification
Game
spots.
on.
But if he wins, there is only 2 points between all 5 players in this group.
Well, we both had the opportunity, didn't we, earlier on to have a chat with John O'Shea for what is going to be an amazing feature that's going to be coming out soon on Pluto TV. And he did manage to speak a little bit about tonight, didn't he? And he said that he's got his work cut out, he's got a hard job, but he's not going to give these boys an easy ride, and he was up for the battle.
Yeah, I think explosive is the word. Do keep an eye out for that dropping
100.
on Pluto TV.
$43.
But yeah, does have his work cut out. Bottom of the table at the moment. And Shane McGuirk started tonight well and looks to be continuing in that vein.
Starting to show his class and quality.
95. Shane, you
Shane
require
McGuirk, the
81.
reigning WDF champion.
$41. 95. Shane, you require 40.
Top send for a 13 dart start. Double 10. You won't want to end up on double 5 here.
30.
That's exactly what's happened. It just becomes a little awkward when he returns. Would have rather have the second dart got in the single 10 and then given himself a
60. Shane, you require
decision to
10.
make with the third.
Game shot on the
All's
first
well that
leg.
ends well.
Shane
The
McGuirk.
first leg goes away of the WDF World Champ.
Second leg, it's John to throw first. Game on.
Well, last night this was 4-0 to McGuirk, so we aren't going to see another mirrored result.
46.
Could see the same result played out again.
100.
One of the things that John O'Shea said to us earlier, Matt, was that he didn't know which John O'Shea was going to turn up ever.
Yeah, and that's
100.
a tricky situation to be in because you then need the dartboard to tell you you're playing well. You need the darts to be landing correctly. And if you start a night slow,
140.
it can quickly get into your mind where you go, it's not my night. Especially when that night has to be near perfection, which it needs to be for John O'Shea if he's going to chase down players in the top half of the table. But it doesn't get any more perfection than that.
That's what he can do. McGuirk,
91.
first to a finish, albeit only 5 points better off than O'Shea here. Those who watched the
65.
Premier League last night would have seen Luke Littler reeling the big fish in the final.
$98. John, you require 110.
Needed one of those two trebles. McGuirk can come back to double his lead.
48. Shane, you require 72. $32. John, you require 62.
Well, this will be his first go at a double.
30.
And can't take it.
Shane, you require 40. Game shot on the second leg. Shane McGuirk.
They needed to hit the ground running, didn't he,
Third
Shane?
leg.
And he's
It's
doing
Shane to
just
throw
that.
first. Game on.
Already got 2 points on the board and looking good to double up, which would actually temporarily put him top of the table.
40.
Yeah, a defeat here, and the only way out really for John O'Shea would be winning all his remaining matches.
57.
McGuirk would be looking like he had a foot in finals night.
60. $100.
In that position of playing two of the first three games tonight, but he's actually making that an advantage, isn't he? You win them both, you've done most of your work.
121.
And last night, Shane McGuirk won two of his 4 matches. They were spread over the evening, so winning the first two here. That intention to get off to a good start would come to pass.
78.
And you feel when you look ahead to the fixtures and how the table is shaping up, that 8 points
you
will
require
more than likely be enough to get you that third spot.
41.
Particularly
Shane, you
for
require
McGuirk and
120.
Van Trijp, who already have a really healthy leg difference as well.
60. John, you require 104.
Shane needs to find something and find it quickly. 104 could be it. 50 left. Double 16.
72. Shane, you require
Goes
60.
unbothered and McGuirk could lead 3-0.
Game shot on the third leg. Shane McGuirk.
3-0 it is. And all a bit too comfortable here for Shane.
Fourth leg.
That's
It's
now
John to
7
throw
straight
first.
legs against
Game on.
John O'Shea. Of course, this is his first match of the night, and we saw the Shane stare there. Is he still doing it?
60.
He's decided now's the time. And all of you that didn't get the Valentine's Day card, you didn't think you'd be looked at like that tonight, did you?
60.
It's really starting to take off, this staring at the camera, isn't it?
Yeah, Conan White had started it.
100.
Lee Cox followed. We've had a few this week. Henry Deacon tried last Saturday.
140.
Notice Shane McGuirk waited until he won his first match
96.
4-1, sorry, and was 3-0 up in his second to have that bit of fun.
Yeah, I suppose there's a time and a place for everything, isn't there? When you feel in
58.
control and you feel like you're about to go and achieve what you need to do for the night, that's when you can start to enjoy the moment.
59.
It's John O'Shea who's looking singled out at the bottom of the table.
96.
Just 2 points to his name after what will be 5 fixtures in this group.
$140.
Still a small chance of turning this one around, but not if McGuirk can take out the 147, and it's on. Went for the treble 18 to leave the double in that department. Didn't get near it.
$115. John, you require 46.
Double 16. He perseveres, but he still can't
14.
find that target.
Shane, you require
Is it going to be back-to-back
32.
whitewash defeats for John O'Shea against Shane McGuirk?
Game shot.
That's
and the
exactly
match.
how it goes.
Shane McGuirk.
And the Joker is in serious trouble at the foot of the field. McGuirk, well, he's got a foot in finals night as he fires his arrows very successfully this evening. And he's very happy with the way he's played. 9 legs completed by Shane McGuirk tonight so far. He's won 8 of them and picked up 4 points, doubling his tally and taking himself to the top of the table and looking good to return to the stage at finals night tomorrow. Coming next, well, we'll see either Danny Van Trijp or Brandon Weening join him on 8 points.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the
Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Luke Lidlow!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series live on Pluto TV, where, well, if we think 8 points is going to be enough for players to get through to finals tonight, then the winner of this will be there. Because both Danny Van Trijp and Brandon Weening are on 6. Van Trijp with a much healthier leg difference, but did go down 4-1 in his first fixture of the evening to Kelvin O'Keefe. Weening also went down by the same scoreline to Shane McGuirk, who has made it to 8 points and now sits on top of the table. But the winner of this one will join him and
First leg,
take
it's Danny to throw
a giant
first.
leap towards qualification.
Game on.
I think the concerning thing for both players, though, will be the performance of match number 1.
45.
Both players lost their opening games by 4 legs to 1 and didn't really produce. Danny Van Trijp only averaging 79, Brandon Weening averaging 80. Significantly down
60.
on what we saw for their daily stats yesterday. Maybe just feeling the moment, and it can sometimes be that you come into day 2 of a Group B
60.
campaign, you got 6 points on the board, you know you're nearly there and you need just a small task within the overall task, and you think you've got more time than you have.
It was 4-0 in favour of Van
125.
Trijp last night. In one-sided matches so far. 2 4-1s, 1 4-0 for McGuirk over O'Shea, who is in a world of trouble. Really needs to beat Kelvin O'Keefe in the next game. And it'll be whoever loses this match that that pair are chasing. They'll still be stuck on 6 in the middle position in the table. Remember, the top 3 go through from Group B to join Richie Howson, Justin Smith and Henry Coates. Has he been the revelation of this week, Henry Coates, the 18-year-old?
80.
He's been the most exciting prospect, hasn't he? He's been very, very solid in that Group C campaign from start to finish. Just looked certain that he'd be here on
60.
Saturday night. And
Brandon, you require
be interesting to see
140.
what group he is in. I believe he will be in the same group as Richie Howson, the winner of Group A. Be interesting to see who joins them.
Yep, they will be joined by the runner-up from this
Danny,
group.
You require 116.
Treble 20 leaves double 18, but can't get near it. So Weening
42. Brandon, you require 40.
looking at tops.
Game shot on the first leg. Brandon Weening.
And finding it. Breaking leg one.
Second leg, it's Brandon to throw first.
Will be getting cheered
Game
on,
on.
I'm sure, by Father Wayne and the Whitlocks. Mason, who endured a difficult campaign himself.
140.
And Simon, who've been hosting the Weenings for the last few months.
108.
But it's Van Trijp who kicks off in style here.
Didn't happen for Mason Whitlock this afternoon. Group C came in with a good opportunity, 6 points on the board, but just wasn't able to produce the goods today and get himself over that line, and he was mightily disappointed at the end of that campaign. Still waiting for his first opportunity on a Saturday night here at the Super Series.
Oh, really good. Couple of visits from Van Trijp. 180, 140. Moves away, having decided that he can't see a clear route to that treble 20.
95. $140.
I've seen quite a lot of this tonight. Players just really taking the time before approaching the hockey. Maybe they know there's not much room to manoeuvre the final night, but it worked for Brandon Weening there, although it might
Danny
not
require 41.
amount to anything. Because Van Trijp's had such a good leg himself.
Game shot on the second
And he
leg.
completes
Danny
the leg
Van
in a
Trijp.
dozen darts to break straight back.
Third leg, it's Danny to throw first. Game on. $140.
Really good game so far, this. Treble after treble.
100.
Certainly put the misery of the disappointment of match number one behind them. Probably aware as much as we are that the fixtures are ticking off quite quickly this evening, and up against a player here who's in a very similar position means one of them is going to be the player that will be chased down by John O'Shea and Kelvin O'Keefe, while the other one's going to have a bit of a buffer, a bit of a comfort.
55.
Yeah, that O'Shea-O'Keefe match coming up next. Must win for O'Shea. If O'Keefe wins, then he could be in third place, depending on the outcome of this one.
123. $100. $134. Danny, you require 106.
Top cent for the Dutchman.
66.
High and wide, and this
Brandon, you require
run of
44.
breaks may well continue.
$28. Danny, you require 40. Game shot on the third leg. Danny Van Trijp.
Hold instead for Van Trijp.
Fourth leg. It's Brandon to throw
Despite the fact
first.
that it's Weening
Game
who's got that three-figure average. Saw him average 108 in his final match. The only ton-plus average in this group last night.
140.
And it was good to see him put it all together as well, because we've seen some really good signs from Brandon Weening throughout the week. Joined us
85.
on Monday, 9:30. Been here for 5 days now. playing at the Super Series, and there's been times he's threatened that big ton plus average. It was nice just to see it all come together last night. Back end of the evening. In a 4-1 victory. A little nugget of revenge against the man who took him out at Lakeside, Shane McGuirk.
And they'll be heading back to Australia in the next couple of weeks.
36.
Him and his father. And there are opportunities over there coming up.
Speaking to him about his plans and his goals and his aspirations for the year ahead, and it's all about entering those events that can get him on the road to the Ali Pally.
85.
Said he would go to Lakeside if he somehow stumbled into a place, but it's not something that he's going to be chasing the ranking points for like he did last year. That one is ticked off the bucket list, and now
Brandon, you require
it's about getting in that
140.
PDC World Championships for him.
Time on his side here to level this one up. 140 can be done in 2 visits, maybe done in 1. Another in there. Leaves him on double 10. Wonderful Weening.
Shot of 4 flag.
Crashes
Brandon
in
Weening.
a ton topper to level this match at 2-2. Respected by Danny
Fifth
Van
leg,
Trijp.
It's Danny to the row first.
He had 5 of those yesterday, highlighted by the 1-3-2 finish. We saw very similar this afternoon with a lot of the big ton plus checkouts. A lot of them coming from Justin Smith.
Oh, what a game this is. Second match from Van Trijp. After the 140 finish from Weening. Certainly the standout
57.
showdown of the night so far.
One 140.
It's the second time in the game he's been on 181 after 6. 5 out of 6 darts in the treble 20.
When you're doing it, when you've got the advantage of throw, you're just forcing your opponent to do a 9 or feel like they've lost a leg.
100. 100. 134.
Still can't land a glove on Van Trijp in this 5th leg. Doesn't need to go the 12 ball route. It's 32 instead.
49.
He'll return for it.
Danny, you require 32. Game shot on the 5th leg, Danny Van Trijp.
Same situation.
6th leg, it's Brandon to the row
Weening
first.
still averaging over 100.
Game on.
But behind. And again, just taking a little bit of the pace out of the game here, Brandon Weening.
60.
Seems to be one of those players that can just alter the pace in terms of the approach. When he gets to the hockey, that's all still the same sort of pace. Just likes to
95.
sort of check himself a little bit. You see here, stood at the back of the stage, waiting until Danny Van Trijp's got right to the back of the stage before he even makes his approach.
100.
Can the Python
100.
show some venom in this one? Another snake-based nickname in darts. Seem to be quite a few of those. Got the Cobra, the Black Cobra, the Peter Wright snake bite, and Jack Garwood, our referee.
57.
He's the adder.
$139.
Been dying to get that one in, haven't you?
You can see the cogs turning, can't you?
$140. Danny, you require 167.
Would have been some way to win it, but Weening might have to take out another 140 something here.
Brandon, you require 144. Danny, you require
Danny Van
68.
Trijp to put himself to what we feel could be the golden 8 points.
Game shot and the match.
Does it in style.
Danny Van Trijp.
Clinical kill. Despite a lovely performance from Brandon Weening there, 98.96 the average for the Aussie. It is Van Trijp who takes that jump towards qualification. 4-2 success over Weening in that one, but it's Weening that gets Van Trijp in a very solid position. Back at the top of the table, level on 8 points with Shane McGuirk. That may well be enough. Those two will play in a couple of games' time. The winner of that match will be confirmed as qualified. Before it, though, well, it's the two players outside the top three, Kelvin O'Keefe and John O'Shea, who is in desperate need of a win.
$54. Charlie McGuirk, 164. $44. $32. Charlie McGuirk, 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
McGuirk,
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
McGuirk,
Oki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
McGuire,
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that
Charlie
situation there, George
McGuire,
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia McGuire,
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
McGuire,
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia McGuire,
I
20.
think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Well, this is the MODUS Super Series Darts channel on Pluto TV, bringing you 24/7 coverage of darts, including over 35 hours a week of live darts. And that is what we're bringing you right now. Getting towards the final furlongs in Group B, halfway through the evening here, with John O'Shea taking on Kelvin O'Keefe. And well, one's in a little bit of trouble. The other one's in turmoil at the foot of the table. John O'Shea, only one win from his first 5 matches, has to win this one. He knows that. And then the other 2 that he's got remaining as well. If Kelvin O'Keefe can win, though, he goes level on points with Brandon Weening in 3rd. And actually, if he wins it by a big enough margin, could end up in the qualification spots in this group for the first time.
Game on.
This is probably a game, though, that the players in the top 3 are hoping that John O'Shea actually gets the victory in, because at the end of that, there'd still be that 2-point buffer between
59.
the top 3 and the chasing players. John O'Shea, big favourite to win this game, but he was last night as well, and Kelvin O'Keefe did pick up the victory here in this head-to-head clash.
140.
He did look a lot better in his opening game tonight. Doesn't quite show it so much in the statistics when you look at the numbers for that game, but the way it felt, the delivery of the dart, the firmness of the throw, just looking a lot more settled and composed this evening.
58.
There's still an opportunity for both players to be, or for probably either player, to be fair, to be at finals night. And there's still an opportunity for you to be there as well. Tickets are available. Scan that QR code. It'll take you to dartshop.tv, where you can, can't get my words out, where you can secure yours for a £5. Maybe you forgot to buy a Valentine's present.
60.
Sorted. I know we didn't do anything today, but I've booked us a table for tomorrow. Kelvin O'Keefe maybe on the stage. Never mind, sat on the table.
When you require 63.
Not sure a bag of crisps is going to pass as a meal, though, on this occasion.
Is he going to make a meal of this? Yes.
If you've ever wondered why his nickname's Casio, I think you're finding out why.
47. John, you require 144.
Tidies it up in the end.
100. Kelvin, you require 16.
Pair of 4s.
12. John, you
should have
require
had this
44.
leg in the ledger. O'Keefe instead. O'Shea can hold his throat.
Game shot of first
And
leg,
does.
John O'Shea. Second leg, it's Kelvin to throw first. Game on. $97. $100. $97. $140.
It's a really scruffy opening leg from John O'Shea, which he managed to win in the end after mistakes from his opponent, but
108.
might be kicking on.
He
O'Keefe, though, determined to stop his progress. Bit of a menacing look in the background as well.
Kelvin, you require 127.
Yeah, the shoulders back, the chest was out. He's fancying the job. He's hit what he's throwing at, but he's not sure what he's left.
Yeah, I mean, O'Shea's not on a finish, but he
87.
would go that way on 127 anyway. There's no real benefit. You're hitting the treble and not getting the benefit that you would get had you hit a treble 20. Casio strikes again, Matt.
93.
Might run into some
Kelvin, you
copyright
require
issues if his
40.
career goes the way he hopes.
Game shot on the second leg, Kelvin O'Keefe. Third leg, it's John to throw first. Game on.
We've seen in the past, haven't we, people have to tweak either shirt designs or nicknames.
131.
Yeah, James Wilson, who's played here at the Super Series, went from Jammy Dodger to Lethal Biscuit, and then back to Jammy Dodger, but spelt differently.
121. 66.
What's the worst nickname or the worst sort of theme you've seen a dart player go for?
100.
I'm not too much of a fan of the Pikachu, to be honest.
108.
Yeah, Ricardo Petresco. 180 from O'Shea puts him on 124. 180 from O'Keefe will put him on a ton.
140.
Halves his score instead. We'll come back to that.
124.
Because I've got a blast from the past for you.
$92. Kelvin, you require 140.
Oh, that looks inviting. Unable to find with dart number 2. John O'Shea's having his best leg of the game here. Down to a double after 12.
John, you
Chance to hold the throw and take the
32.
lead.
No score.
You can't believe
Kelvin,
it.
you require 40.
It's not going the way of O'Shea.
Game shot on the
And
third
O'Keefe.
leg, Kelvin O'Keefe.
Grabs the leg away. 2-1 to the Welshman. Yeah, the one that I always
leg,
remember,
it's
I just
Kelvin
could
to
not
throw
understand,
first.
couldn't make sense of.
Game on.
There was a player he played in the Grand Slam of Darts in 2015, a Dutchman called Mark Oosterhuis. And his nickname was Mark Potter.
60.
He suddenly decided to model himself on Harry Potter, but Mark Potter, and I just don't know where it came from or what he was trying to do.
But is that as bad as
134.
Mr. Coat?
Good point. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad nickname for Henry, would it, who played this afternoon, but not for Jan Dekker.
And he even wore a
44.
coat on his walk on.
Yeah. It's almost like he just drew out a nickname of a hat and said, right, I'm going to have to try and make this fit somehow. Now with the much more obvious double decker. Like a story behind a nickname, personally, and there is one behind that of John O'Shea, which you will hear
95.
on Pluto TV. There is one behind Casio as well. Apparently his mates say he can't count.
$59.
Is there a story behind Prime Time, or is that just the usual Matthew Edgar self-proclamation?
No, it's actually got quite a bit
98.
of sort of thing with it. So it originated when I was boxing, and then I used it as well a little bit when I was wrestling.
100.
And I just sort of had it theming through. And then when I played the UK Open in 2013, I was on the main stage on the prime time slot. So I thought, well, I'll just
140.
switch that
John,
across.
you require 108.
Matthew Edgar reminds me that he used to box and wrestle, just in case I try and have a joke at his expense again. This can be rescued by O'Shea, treble 17, not to beat.
25.
It
Kelvin,
hasn't
you
really
require
been to beat
64.
for O'Shea over the last couple of nights. 8-8 for a 3-1 lead.
48. John, you require 83.
He is now tiptoeing on the tightrope. No doubt about that, John O'Shea. The ball.
48.
Not happening.
Kelvin, you require 16. Game shot on a 4 flag, Kelvin O'Keefe.
Kelvin's really starting to play himself into contention here.
5th flag, it's
A
John to
potential
throw first.
qualification spot.
Game on.
If he can get the job done here, if he can get one more leg against John O'Shea, he'll be level on points with Brandon Weening.
And if he gets it in this leg, he'll be better off on leg difference as well by 1. So we'll move into those qualification spots for the first time. Shane McGuirk and Danny Van Trijp coming up next.
25.
The winner of that match will confirm their qualification.
91.
And defeat here for John O'Shea. His
100.
campaign would be over, wouldn't it? Because O'Keefe and Weening would both be on 6, but have to play each other. O'Shea could only get to 6.
7.
So defeat, and he's out.
$100. 95.
Last fixture of the evening as well. Brandon Weening versus Kelvin O'Keefe. Will it be winner takes all?
100.
O'Shea can't afford any more slip-ups here.
140.
Right on cue, finds a biggie. Looks like a dangerous tactic there. Moves away. That's a good idea there.
68.
Looks like he's just trying to find a way past the block-up. We could see what it did to dart number 2. More misses.
36.
More opportunities
Kelvin,
passing
you
by for John
require
O'Shea.
82.
This is a chance for Kelvin O'Keefe to move into a qualifying position.
Single 17 would tee up tops. And
Game
that
shot on the
is
mark.
exactly what Kelvin O'Keefe wanted. He moves into 3rd place. And there is the stare. That's not quite how it's done, Kelvin, but the performance was very, very good indeed. A 4-1 success, an average of 90, and it is a result that eliminates John O'Shea from the running this week. We thought he'd be a contender at the top of the table, but he's fixed to the foot of it. Kelvin O'Keefe, though, very much in contention to make it through to finals night. We will know the identity of one player going through in the next match. The winner of Shane McGuirk and Danny Van Trijp will qualify.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
So 5 matches down of tonight's 10, and Shane McGuirk has, well, he's gone to work, hasn't he? A 4-1 win against Brandon Weening and a 4-0 victory against John O'Shea. Kelvin O'Keefe, similar as well, 2 4-1 wins for him, and Danny Van Trijp getting a 4-2 win over Brandon Weening, meaning that John O'Shea is out. Only 1 win from 6 matches, cannot qualify because O'Keefe and Weening will play each other. One of them must get to 8 points, already on 8 points. Danny Van Trijp and Shane McGuirk. They're about to play. The winner of that match will go through. But before we get into it, earlier today there was a huge announcement for amateur darts and the ADC. Yes, the ADC Global Championship is back in 2025, bigger and better, starting on the 1st of December and shown live here on Pluto TV. And it is going to be an expanded field and a much bigger prize fund, the largest amateur prize fund in darts, £150,000. The winner picking up £60,000, and 56 players will qualify for the tournament. It'll take place over 2 weeks from December the 1st, and the finals day will be held in January 2026. Huge news from the ADC, a good partner of us here at the MODUS Super Series. Henry Deacon commentated on the moment that Devon Peterson won that title last year, and somebody will be picking up a rather hefty check and that magnificent trophy as well. I think the good thing about it, before we get into this match, Matthew, is that players don't have to go around the world chasing ranking points. They can qualify without leaving the hometown.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the ADC, and I've always said that in regards to even getting down here to the Super Series, that they go
First
and find
leg, it's Shane to
talent
throw first.
in their town.
Game
There's
on.
been so many players over the years that have been missed, that haven't achieved their full potential, because maybe they've got families, careers that just don't allow it. If you're a teacher,
100.
you ain't getting extended weekends off all the time so you can go travel and chase ranking points. So having things on your
45.
doorstep now with the pathway to get into a sizable event, £60,000, that's life-changing money.
Yeah, sure, both of these players
96.
will be attempting to qualify themselves. Danny Van Trijp here representing
50,
ADC Europe
sir.
this week, and there will be opportunities across Europe and indeed the world. There also are going to be
90.
qualification spots for the winners of the MODUS Super Series. So the 3 series champions in 2025, 10, 11 and 12, will qualify for that ADC
140.
Global Championship come the end of the season.
$100.
I suppose the question I should be asking, Matt, are you going to have a go yourself?
Probably not for me.
139.
But
Shane,
I
you
can see
require
why
115.
anyone who's got ambitions within the game would certainly be eyeing that one up.
59.
Well, eyeing up
Danny, you require
120 is Danny Van Trijp.
120.
Remember, the winner of this match will qualify for finals tonight. Staying there, is he? Could have looked at Bull if he
60.
felt it was
Shane, you
too
require
severely hampered.
56. Game shot on the first leg. Shane McGuirk.
Everything is going the way of Shane
Second
McGuirk
leg,
so
it's
far
Danny to
tonight.
throw first. Game on. $140.
Head to the
6.
ADC website and social media channels for full information on that event. It's been completely revamped. There'll be
100.
it'll look very different in terms of format, qualifying groups, and then second round
81.
of group phases after much of the field has been cut before that grand finals day.
108.
Danny Van Trijp again, really the aggressor in the leg.
100. Danny, you require 81.
Double 16.
65.
I think the lesson learned from last year, Matt, was that really the 2 weeks before the finals day, which was excellent, the finals day, but the 2 weeks were just too similar. Well, they were the
55.
same as the
Danny, you
MODUS Super
require
Series format, and that's
16.
been addressed this time around.
No score.
Is Danny Van Trijp going to hand this leg to Shane McGuirk?
$38. Danny, you require
You
16.
feel he'd have to miss another 6 starts at the double for that to happen.
8.
Well, there's 3.
Shane, you require
And Shane McGuirk with an outside
167.
opportunity to make sure that's all he gets. Oh, it's on the ball.
137.
Bit of
Danny, you
flyer
require
there, but
8.
that would have kept Danny Van Trijp very interested until the very end.
Game shot on the second leg. Danny Van Trijp. Third leg, it's Shane to throw first. Game on. 123. 140.
Also have a look through the qualification criteria as well for the ADC Global Championship, and it really is going to be a global championship, isn't it?
100.
Invitations going to be coming from the various tours and systems, and also all the championship belt holders as well, which
140.
we may see battled out for in 2025 now that it's got that carrot of the global invitation.
Yeah, really big news. It's something a lot of players have
58.
been speaking about, the options they've got now. Well, there's a chance to earn some really good money playing darts away from the PDC Pro Tour. Just
125.
think about it. You could win the final series of the year. The very next week we're playing in the ADC Global Championship. That's a possibility of winning £85,000 just before Christmas.
60. Danny, you require 96. Game shot on the third leg.
Really good
Danny
stuff
Van
by
Trijp.
Danny Van Trijp. Dozen dart leg.
Fourth leg. It's Danny to throw first. Game on. $100. 108.
McGuirk off with a maximum.
135.
When you talk about the prize money opportunities, we can only compare and contrast with what's actually out there in the world at the moment. And when we even look at the PDC World Championship, only 4 players would have earned more than £60,000. That is the semi-finalists, the runner-up, and the winner. £50,000 for the quarter-finalists. So the winner of that global championship will be getting paid more than a world championship quarter-finalist.
180.
And a bit more than Shane McGuirk got for winning that Lakeside as well.
100.
What a performance he's producing in this leg. 2 180s in it.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Van
Shane
Trijp had a
McGuirk.
12 darter in the previous leg. Shane McGuirk goes one better.
Fifth leg. It's Shane to throw first. Game on.
He's playing very reactive tonight, isn't he? That was something that maybe was missing a little bit last night when something got him
81.
down. He stayed down, where when someone's hitting him tonight, he just wants to hit back a bit harder.
60. 140. 100. 108.
The 180s just keep coming for Shane McGuirk.
60.
Could make
Shane,
it
you
back-to-back
require
11 dart
100.
legs here. Well, he's not going to do, but he won't have to do.
60. 100. Shane, you require 40. Game shot on the fifth leg. Shane McGuirk.
Not bad at all, this. From Shane McGuirk, who is now one leg away
Sixth leg. It's Danny to throw
from securing
first.
qualification to finals
on.
night.
$59. 59. 100. 140. 60. Check 45.
Following this, John O'Shea already eliminated, takes on Brandon Weening now outside those qualification spots. Maybe on a collision course with
78.
Kelvin O'Keefe. The pair play at the end of the night.
$134. 140. 99. Danny, you require 84.
Well, there is a chance to win it
You
here.
require 164.
Another. To qualify in style.
121.
What a moment that would have
Danny,
been
you
for
require
McGuirk. You may
12.
have to wait another leg.
Starting the big finish twice, hasn't he, Shane McGuirk? But he will return.
No score.
Danny Van Trijp unable to cash
Shane,
in
you
the
require
opportunity.
43.
This one much more gettable for Shane McGuirk to book his place.
Gabe Shaw and the match. Shane
And
McGuirk.
McGuirk makes it. The WTF World Champion could be a champion at the Super Series come this time tomorrow. Shane McGuirk through to finals night, defeating Danny Van Trijp to get there. You would expect the Dutchman to join him, but the way things are going in this group, somebody could miss out on 8 points. So Shane McGuirk will be very pleased to have got to 10, winning all of his games this evening so far. He'll be back to finish his night in a couple of games' time against Kelvin O'Keefe. But before that, John O'Shea takes on Brandon Weening.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. 44. 32. Charlie require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that
Charlie
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the darts.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
George require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go!
Couldn't get the job
Got
done.
out the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. 4 games to go then in Group B. And we now know that one player has qualified from it. Shane McGuirk through after winning a hat-trick of matches this evening. 10 points for him. John O'Shea, his fellow Irishman, he's had very different fortunes. 2 points, just 1 win in 6 fixtures. And he cannot scale the mountain now. Can't qualify. Brandon Weening, though, can. And he would move on to 8 points and back into 3rd place if he gets a victory here. It's looking very likely that the last match of the night will determine who joins McGuirk and Van Trijp, although he's not
First
officially
leg,
qualified
it's John
yet.
to the row first. Game on.
So it would have to be a victory for the Python here. Really needs to make sure that he gets the win against O'Shea.
97.
O'Shea said before a dart was thrown, though, he's not going to let anyone have an easy ride tonight. He thought he was going to still book his place in there himself.
58.
But the 2019 then BDO World Masters champion can still play a decisive hand
100.
in which players do qualify and complete the lineup for Saturday night.
$100. $100. $100. $140.
Finding well at the start of this game, John O'Shea. That'll probably be equally as annoying as when he was not playing well, because right now it can't really be effective
97.
to his
Johnny
prospects.
requires 64. $48. Brandon, you require 146.
That sort of dejected look really coming because the doubles have been causing him a lot of problems tonight, John O'Shea. 11 darts at a double in match 1 and 2 with only
58.
1 successful hit.
Johnny requires 16. Game shot on the first
Brilliant's
leg.
on here.
John O'Shea.
And a look of surprise there from John O'Shea. Hitting just his second double
leg
of the
is
night.
Brandon to the row first. Game on.
He could still do some damage, couldn't he, to other people's chances. Plays 2 players that are not yet qualified in Brandon Weening
135.
and Danny Van Trijp. Because he's out, he can't take 2 players out.
96.
Defeat here would be really damaging, because really Brandon Weening's in a really good position, isn't he? Winning this match, he'll go back into 3rd place, and it's in his hands. He's got the darts against Kelvin O'Keefe, but a defeat,
100.
it starts to become out of his hands. O'Keefe could actually win by a big enough margin against Shane McGuirk. That would make things very difficult for Brandon
97.
Weening in that final game. However, that's easier said than done. McGuirk has been excellent this evening.
$128. 119. Brandon, you require 138. $58. $99. Brandon, you require 80. $60. John, you require 90.
My 220s would leave the bull. That leaves double 15.
Game Sean,
And John
second
O'Shea
leg. John O'Shea.
Suddenly is coming out to play, but it's too late.
Third leg, it's John to throw first.
What he could
Game
do,
on.
what he might be able to achieve is lifting himself off the bottom of the table by the end of the evening, and they'd get a little bit more prize money in his pocket for
108.
finishing fourth rather than fifth.
He.
That's it. You just want to try and cash in as much as you can. You've got to go through the games. You've got to go through the actions. So you might as well try and make it pay as much as you
56.
can.
$40.
But I think that's right there. A little bit of an indication in the way this has gone for John O'Shea. 180, followed by a 40.
60.
Sort of a sign of the week.
$57. $60.
Just looking a little bit lethargic suddenly, Brandon Weening.
$94. $134. John, you require 130.
Well,
99.
no harm in going for it, I suppose. John O'Shea.
When you are just in a bit of a flow like John O'Shea is here, averaging 98 in this game, you don't think about those sort of what we
105. John, you
traditionally call a
require
sensible play,
31.
because you just start to get in the flow and believe everything's going to go.
Game shot on the third leg.
Everything
John
is
O'Shea.
going for John O'Shea. And this is a real dent in the chances of Brandon Weening. Not
Fourth
just a loss,
leg,
but
it's
potentially a
Brandon to throw
4-0 loss
first.
here.
Game on.
Looking at the table as well, John O'Shea,
108.
I think will be well aware that he's not going to be going through, even if he hasn't worked out that O'Keefe and Weening play each other, therefore will be beyond him in
6.
points. His leg difference was so poor before this match. So I think we are seeing a classic example of a player playing with freedom
6.
because he's quite literally got nothing to play for.
$140. $108. He. $100. Brandon, you require 81.
Much better leg from Brando,
Game shot on the fourth
who
leg.
avoids the
Brandon
whitewash
Weening.
defeat.
Fifth leg, it's John to
He's
the
actually
first.
run into a couple of big performances
Game on.
tonight, hasn't he, Brandon Weening? He went down to the 4-2 defeat to Danny Van Trijp, despite averaging 98 himself. He's averaging 95.26 in this one and finds himself 3-1 down.
Sometimes people just find that little bit of inspiration against you.
81.
Just the way that the fixtures break down, it doesn't work out in your favour, and maybe Brandon Weening going to be a victim of that.
45. $58.
Despite that dart being wayward, he kind of used it to
95.
bounce it into the treble 20.
$140. $60. $90. $54. Brandon, you
A big
require
treble found for John O'Shea.
132.
Will give Brandon Weening a little bit of hope of getting one of the breaks a throw that he's going to need. Did manage to take that finish out yesterday, Brandon Weening, the 132. Able to repeat it here, which will give John O'Shea an opportunity. Or he's only going to need one treble here to get a dart at the ball. Once Brandon Weening's worked it out.
Give Casio a call.
120. John, you require 126.
Right, 126. A well-known finish for dart players. Treble 19, single 19, and bolt.
101. Brandon, you require 12. $6. John, you require 25.
Never really looked convincing with any of those, Brandon Weening.
So this will be a huge blow
9.
for Brando.
Brandon, you
But he
require
could still turn
6.
it around. A break here if he finds this double 3. He knows it's a big moment. He knows he's got a reprieve here. Can he take advantage? Straight in.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Brandon Weening. Sixth leg. It's Brandon to throw first. Game on. $96. $57. $60. $121.
This scare might be getting survived.
140.
Brandon Weening was in huge trouble. O'Shea let him off the hook with missed doubles. That's been a problem for him tonight. There's only 9% going into this match.
131.
Started well for him, didn't it, John O'Shea? Running at 50% until it came to the moment of winning the match. And then Those missed doubles reared its head once again.
55.
He may get more opportunities here. If he can find a couple of trebles, put himself in a very good position.
60. Brandon, you require 150. $98. John, you require 132.
No, John. He asked the referee, Jack Garwood, is that bullseye or 25? He replied 3.
42. Brandon, you require 52. Game shot on the 6th leg, Brandon Weening.
Parity achieved. O'Shea does have the
7th and
darts,
final
but
leg, it's John to throw first.
he's gone from hot to
Game on.
cold in this game.
3-0 up and cruising. Averaging 10 points higher than he is right now.
57.
10 points dropped off his average, while Brandon Weening's gained about 6. That 16-point swing in the overall averages has got Brandon Weening back into this and makes him a strong favourite.
139. $60.
6 darts. No trebles for John O'Shea. Which means essentially Brandon Weening has already broken the throat.
$98.
A touch of class here for John O'Shea.
140.
Never say die attitude that he's got.
$140.
Brandon Weening first down to a finish after just 9 darts left on the 1-2-4. An example of his fine power
94.
scoring
Brandon,
here.
you require 124.
So to keep himself has been the favourite to get that qualifying place.
Can win it on the ball.
79.
O'Shea can win it with 3
John, you
balls.
require 150.
Go on, John. Nothing to lose. Okay. Treble 19, followed by another would have left, and he felt that was going to go, didn't he? You can see the grimace. But Brandon Weening to turn this
87.
tie around
Brandon, you
totally
require 45.
and put himself back in the top 3. Oh, that could
John, you require
be the moment
63.
that he will kick himself for tonight. It's going to be 1 dart double for O'Shea to break Brandon's heart. And there it is. O'Shea gets his first win of the night. And inflicts real damage. And look at that. He's seething. Brandon Weening and John O'Shea is enjoying every moment, giving it a full Usain Bolt. And, well, Weening left the stage quicker than Usain Bolt as well. He feels it could be over. A 4-3 defeat. He had the chance to win it. But John O'Shea, in the end, picks up some points for the first time tonight. Kelvin O'Keefe, the big beneficiary of that, is in action next. He takes on the so far unbeaten tonight, Shane McGuirk.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receiving the trophy. £25,000.
The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit. What a moment! Yes, we can.
And the match. Game shot on a
Yeah,
fifth
that's an
flag.
almost central
Respawn
ball, but
it.
that is a 1-2-1.
He's to the ball. Andreas
He's
Harrison
on the
nodding
first
along in the
flag.
background. He
10
thought it
minutes.
was going to go, and he was right.
Can he wrap it up? In style, that's the way to do it.
As we see here, a massive ton opportunity.
Game shot on a third
Simple,
leg. Carl
bish,
Wilson.
bash, bosh.
Yep, week 5 getting underway on Monday. Reece Colley, Kurt Parry, David Wazowski, Darren Brown, Ted Everts, and the other guy in Group A. Group B, Reece Robinson, Mark McGeady, and Jamie Owens. In Group C, Carl Wilson, Ricky King, and Dan Nichols. All getting underway on Monday to see who will be through to Champions Week, following in the footsteps of Alex Small, Sam Spivey, and Jensen Walker, and whoever wins this week. And I suppose, Matt, it's time that I started asking you that question. We know 4 of the 6 players that are going to be there. Pretty much know 5 of the 6. Who stands out as the most likely winner for you at this stage?
I don't think we've got someone who's a real likely winner. I think everyone's got a valid claim at the moment. Richie Howson's been by far the standout performer, certainly in regards to the consistency at the top table. Justin Smith, we know, can burst into life at any moment. Henry Coates, I think, has got a ceiling. We're yet to see where that is. And Shane McGuirk's produced quite a lot this evening, and a significant improvement of what we saw yesterday. So maybe
First
what he was
flag,
alluding
it's Kelvin
to,
to
the
throw first. Game on.
lack of practice and preparation that he had in coming into this, maybe that rust would have been shaken off last night, and he's got better
45.
tonight, and maybe he's going to get even better again tomorrow.
$140. 60. 96. 54. 60. 45.
I suppose for Kelvin O'Keefe here, it's
60.
one of those weird situations where a win doesn't really give him too much of an advantage because he's still got the player he's in contention with,
40.
Brandon Weening,
Shane,
to
you
play.
require 145.
Whereas defeat doesn't really damage his hopes any further.
55.
Yeah, it's a, as you say, total freebie, really, isn't it? For Kelvin
Shane, you
O'Keefe.
require 90.
Shane McGuirk, though, would like to go through the card and really maybe be the player that makes that statement going into tomorrow. Richie Howson, you'd have to say, made a statement, 14 out of 15 in Group A. Already won a week, of course, this year, Legends League. And what a warm-up it would be for the World Seniors Championship next week for him as well.
You require 32.
Yeah, a lot of people will be looking at him as a bit of an outsider, a dark
on
horse for that
first
one.
leg, Shane McGuirk.
Probably the most
Second
closely
leg, it's Shane to
contested
throw
seniors world championship I think there's ever been. I think in the early days of it, you could pretty much say there was 2 or 3 potential winners.
95.
Now you can probably look at 8+.
Yeah, I mean, the odds came out a couple of weeks ago and some were amazed. I think Vincent van der Voort was made favourite, which was
85.
a little bit of a surprise because no one's really sure where his game's at all. Simon Whitlock, Steve Beaton,
45.
all newcomers as well.
Mervyn King's an interesting one, been playing well at Q School. Stats good, but just a little bit like Brandon Weening tonight,
54.
running into someone who produces a performance. Played well on the Challenge Tour as well, had a Pro Tour call-up recently. So I think he's one to really keep an eye on.
134. 85. 57. 140.
170
Shane, you
then
require
for McGuirk
170.
to put a cherry on tonight's cake.
85. Kelvin, you require 137. 97. Shane, you require 85. Game shot on the second leg, Shane McGuirk.
It's all coming quite easy, isn't it, for Shane McGuirk tonight?
Third leg, it's Kelvin to throw first. Game on. $95.
So we're going to have that battle at the end of the evening between Brandon Weening and Kelvin O'Keefe. It's going to be
99.
winner takes all, seemingly. If McGuirk wins this, they'll be on the same points.
$100. 81. $45. 60. 140. 132. Kelvin, you require 121.
So well there to leave himself a similar finish to the one that O'Keefe's on. That won't be going.
77. Shane, you require 129. 40. Kelvin, you require 44. Game shot on the third leg, Kelvin O'Keefe. Fourth leg, it's Shane to throw first. Game on. $108.
He really wants to top this group, doesn't he, Shane McGuirk? You can see that all over his face. I mean,
60.
ultimately, he wants that biggest prize check that's available here from this group. He has played in regards to the position they finish in the table.
139.
Interesting that after a 180 start on the 19s, I wonder if he was thinking about something very special there.
140.
Wouldn't put it past him to hit the 180 here either.
I would now.
90.
Wasn't talking about him.
Or him.
85. Shane,
92
you
then for an 11
92.
darter. Not going to happen. But a dozen might. On double 12.
68. 100. Shane, you require 24. Game shot on the fourth leg, Shane McGuirk.
It's nearly there. He's nearly won Group B.
Fifth
which,
leg, it's Kelvin to throw first.
before a dart was
Game
thrown, you'd have said he was strong favourite to do so. And going into tonight, he was actually third favourite. But he's produced the goods. He's produced the consistency. He's found
54.
that form that picked him up that title in December.
Yeah, be interested. You mentioned about favouritism. I wonder how the bookies will price this tomorrow. Does McGuirk's night make him top of the odds? Do they stick with Richie Housen after the
140.
consistent week that he had? The fact he's already won in 2025. Are they turned by the performances of Justin Smith and Henry Coates in Group C?
Before a dart was thrown this week, Shane McGuirk was the
44.
favourite. Richie Housen was installed as favourite for the week once his passage was confirmed to Saturday night, and Shane McGuirk still had to navigate this Group B. So I wouldn't be surprised to see
57.
McGuirk reinstalled once again as favourite, but very narrowly.
Van Trijp, of course, before tonight, was odds on for this group.
$100.
He, of course, is safe, Danny Van Trijp, because only one of
96.
Weening or O'Keefe can match him on 8 points, so he has qualified.
140.
The man who's nicknamed after a brand of calculator has not got his calculations right. Left himself a bogey.
59. Shane, you require 119.
Stepped across and then went down for the 19s there. 57 off it leaves 62. So now the bull.
94. Kelvin, you require 104.
I feel this last chance opportunity now for Kelvin O'Keefe. Certainly in this fixture.
$84. Shane, you require 25. Game shot and the match.
Well, there it is, the
Shane
perfect
McGuirk.
night for Shane McGuirk. Finishes in style, a 4-1 win, opened his evening against Brandon Weening. He followed that with a 4-0 win over John O'Shea. He then got the better of Danny Van Trijp 4-2, and he ends how he started with a 4-1 success over Kelvin O'Keefe to confirm himself as a Group B winner. He's going through along with Danny Van Trijp, who's in action next against the already eliminated John O'Shea.
$54. Charlie McGuirk, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that
Charlie
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the
gets
job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series on Pluto TV, where Danny Van Trijp noses safely through and will play his final game before finals night here. John O'Shea will play his final game of the series, having had a disappointing campaign in this group. 1 win last night, 1 win tonight. And then we will see who will join Van Trijp and McGuirk in qualifying when Brandon Weening and Kelvin O'Keefe go head-to-head in a winner-takes-all showdown to end the action in this group. First, though, Van Trijp versus O'Shea.
First leg, it's Danny to throw first.
It was the match that O'Shea won last night. It was his first match of the group as well. Who would have thought it would have panned out this way for John O'Shea from there on in? But he'll be heading home after it. Van Trijp will be heading to finals night. And it's going to be another open finals night. I think that's been the story of the series so far.
57.
Yeah, most certainly. There's not going to be an out-and-out favourite, I think, with the players that are going through. Always felt like it was going to be one of those sort of weeks, though, wasn't it, when the lineup was announced last Thursday, that we was going to get a few twists and turns along the way. A lot of people probably thought this man here, John O'Shea, would have been one of the players getting through this group.
60. $45. 83.
Well, O'Shea will go away and work on a return in the next series. Plenty of exciting stuff to come between now and then. The next Double Trouble week is coming up very, very soon indeed.
100.
Next week is week 5. It's then one more week of Super Series action before a little break for that.
95. Danny, you require 107.
Only just in the 10, and he knows it.
67. John, you require
Can become a bit of
108.
distraction as well when you get so close to actually coming outside the target.
76. Danny, you require 40.
No words needed.
Game shot on the first leg, Danny Van Trijp. Second leg, it's John to throw first. Game on.
Interesting character, John O'Shea. 2019 World Master.
57.
There's a remarkable story behind that, which we'll let him tell in his own words. An interview that has been recorded and will be coming soon here on the MODUS Super Series Darts channel on Pluto TV, part of our 24/7 programming.
It's quite fascinating, wasn't it? We almost needed to extend it into extra parts.
I think we could have probably filled 24 hours, to be fair.
55.
John, a man of many words.
96. 100.
And tonight, basically, the knockouts begin because the last match, Weening versus O'Keefe,
108
is going to be a straight shootout. John O'Shea has really found his best stuff after he's been eliminated. There's no doubt about that.
Game shot on the second leg, John O'Shea. Third leg, it's Danny to throw first.
I said
Game on.
earlier that'll be frustrating though, that for John O'Shea. He came into tonight hoping to play
60.
at the start of the night like he is at the back end and give himself a real opportunity of turning this one around, but he was very well aware, wasn't he, of the task at hand, and in his own words said it was quite a mountain to climb.
$45.
He was well aware how big the task was, and I think when he lost his opening game 4-0 to Shane McGuirk, he probably started to feel it wasn't going to happen. But he has embraced that
26.
Joker theme with the shirt. He's also got Why So Serious tattooed on his hand.
82.
John O'Shea.
$100.
He was paid a great tribute, wasn't he, at the
58.
MODUS Spooky Series last year, when one presenter dressed up as a brilliant Joker
95.
and the other presenter,
require
well, I'm not quite sure what he dressed up as.
The night of the famous cauldron attack.
58.
That was Glenn Durant on the wrong end of that. We decided not to do a theme tonight,
106.
but I hope you did enjoy your Valentine's Day. It's over now. Go back to normal. Stop being nice.
58. Danny, you require 90.
Double 15.
Game shot on
Very
the
good
third
adjustment
leg,
in
Danny
the
Van
end for
Trijp.
Van Trijp to lead 2-1.
Fourth flag, it's John to throw first. Game on. $123. $100. $140. $85. $60. $140. $138.
Another solid leg here from John O'Shea with the darts. Down to a double after
81.
12.
You require 40. Game shot on the fourth flag, John O'Shea.
I think he's surprising himself every time he hits a double.
Fifth
He was
flag,
really
it's
struggling
Danny to
throughout
throw
his
first.
first couple of games, as we
on.
referenced. Over 2 matches, he was only 9% on checkouts. He's 40% in this game. 2 from 5. Danny Van Trijp,
100.
even better than that. 2 from 4.
$57. $100. 57. 100. 57.
Seems to be producing the goods with the darts, but not really challenging the throw of Danny Van Trijp here, John O'Shea.
$121. Danny, you require 141. 90.
Well, don't go anywhere. Remember, the next game is a straight fight between Brandon Weening and Kelvin
Danny,
O'Keefe
you
to join
require
Van Trijp
51.
and Shane McGuirk in qualifying from this group. Miss a big number there. The Dutchman only getting one dart at double where he should have had two.
31.
And O'Shea might pick his pocket.
John, you require 110.
Felt he could use that and get in the treble 20. Would have left him double
40.
15.
Danny, you require
Instead,
20.
Van Trijp returns for double 10. Now double 5.
Game shot of
And
fifth
he leads
leg. Danny
3-2.
Van Trijp.
A bit of a pattern emerging in regards to the results for
Sixth
Danny Van
leg. It's
Trijp,
John
isn't
to
there?
throw first.
He was second
Game
in
on.
Group A. He's going to be second in Group B.
57.
He's going to hope to go one better tomorrow night and be in the gold medal position.
He could be second in his qualification group,
60.
but still go on to win the main prize. And I suppose it doesn't matter how you qualify, does it? You hear that talk in Premier League darts, which is going on at the moment. And a lot of the top players saying, no, I don't care. Top 4. That's all it's about.
140.
Do you share my sentiments that there's an obvious top 3 and then all the other players playing for one place?
Yeah, I think that seems pretty
60.
fair. And with that in mind, I think Gerwin Price ticks a box at the moment.
Yeah, before the campaign started,
97.
I really fancied Stephen Bunting to get that 4th place, but early days. But yeah, a lot to like about Price.
100.
One of the features on our Pluto TV channel is a
100.
deep look into the careers of players such as Gerwin Price, the story of series.
100. Danny, you require
Coming
104.
up after tonight's show, Luke Humphreys at the Live Lounge. O'Shea then will return looking to level. When you're ready, mate.
70. John,
You all did that thing there,
require
didn't you? You know when you're
84.
at home and you say something and the commentator says exactly the same thing and it makes you feel special.
72. Danny's last score was 72. Danny, you require 32.
So, double 16 to win the game. Hard to see.
Game shot.
Easy
and
to
the match.
find.
Danny Van
Danny Van
Trijp.
Trijp made it look easy, and he has eased through this group. It's a 4-2 success to end his evening. He gets a win. He finishes in second place. Silver medal again. That's where he finished in Group A. It's where he finishes in Group B. And he'll see you tomorrow. 4-2 success for the Dutchman. But do not go anywhere, because coming next we will find out the final name to play at finals night. Will it be Brandon Weening or Kelvin O'Keefe? There's only one way to find out. They are going to fight it out after this short break.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Leaves him on double 10. Wonderful Weening.
Shot of full flag.
Crashes
Brandon
in
Weening.
a ton topper.
Tops. Well, Brandon
Shot of
Weening
fifth flag.
found it a couple of legs ago, and now Kelvin O'Keefe is...
Yes, it all comes down to this for Brandon Weening and Kelvin O'Keefe. A week's work for Weening. All comes down to a single darting duel against the Welshman. Both these players on debut weeks at the Live Lounge. Only one of them can go through, and it will be determined by the winner of this match. A race to 4 legs. Weening will have the darts, but I'm not quite sure who will feel they have the momentum. Weening's probably played better at times tonight than Kelvin O'Keefe, but ultimately O'Keefe's won 2 out of 3. Brandon Weening's lost all of his matches.
First leg, it's Brandon to throw first. Game on.
There's a couple of interesting things, though, isn't there? Brandon Weening, this is the game yesterday which he produced the 108.62 average, the last game of the evening. But the other really interesting thing here is the billing of this game.
60.
They're battling it out here to see who's going to get through to Saturday night. But this is a game that very nearly didn't even happen on this stage, because Kelvin O'Keefe was 2 legs away against Jim
125.
Long from picking up his scorecard, and Brandon Weening was on the bubble position, missing out on legs difference on the order of merit. If 6 legs would have been different, this would have been a game we would have saw
42.
on the Pro Tour this week.
Well, shaking his head already, that's not very encouraging, is it, for Brandon Weening? And maybe Kelvin O'Keefe's feeding off that body language.
140. $85.
I think if he were to bow out now, he'd be heading back to Australia feeling that it had been a season of Neelys. Brandon Weening nearly got his tour card, nearly got to finals night of the Super Series.
$108.
He was nearly in trouble in this leg here until he found the maximum.
$100. Brandon, you require 134.
Well, these are the moments when we find out about the players.
Kelvin, you require
O'Keefe has a
76.
chance to break in leg 1 of a huge game.
60.
Not quite
Brandon, you
up to it
require
on that
40.
occasion. Great start finding the treble. Couldn't locate the double.
$20.
Just had to hit those
Kelvin, you
darts, didn't it? It was
require
in.
16. Game shot on the
Going
first
into this
leg.
game,
Kelvin O'Keefe.
Brandon Weening had the advantage. That was because he was throwing first. He's now lost that
Second
advantage.
leg, it's Kelvin to throw first.
If he's to regain that, you
Game
feel
on.
he's going to need a big power leg somewhere. But we've seen so many times this evening where a player has broken early and then gave it straight back.
83.
Just seems to be nervous tension. Evident in the fact that 7
123.
darts at double were missed in the opening leg. If Kelvin O'Keefe wins this game, he'll be an interesting runner tomorrow night, because he certainly got better as this group has gone on.
100. $55. $55.
Just about holding on to that advantage here, O'Keefe, both on the same score, but he has the darts.
54.
Oh, he should have been going for the 18s. If you're not familiar with his nickname, Casio, you might have just worked it out.
$140. $84. Brandon, you require 83.
To get that advantage back.
Game shot on the second leg, Brandon Weening.
No dramas there for Brandon Weening. That'll be just what he wanted there. A nice clean
Third leg,
check
it's
out
Brandon
on a
to throw
combination.
first. Game on.
Bit of a statement there from Brandon.
$66. 85.
Even in a more high-pressure game like this one where it's winner takes all, Kelvin O'Keefe looking significantly better this evening. Definitely settled in quick to life at the Super Series.
I'm sure we'll see him again.
140.
Whether that be tomorrow night or in a future series later this year.
59.
Brandon just seems to have found his focus to draw attention in the opening leg to the fact that he was shaking his head and just displaying a bit of negativity outwardly. Now it's all business. Back in the zone. Will he be in the lead in a moment?
97. Brandon, you require 155.
He's got a bit of time. Kelvin not able to fully keep up with Brandon's scoring power in this one.
$125. 81. Brandon, you require 30.
Well, he's left himself double 15.
Game shot on
It was
the
an
third
unusual
leg,
choice,
Brandon
but it's worked
Weening.
out for him.
Back-to-back 14
Fourth
darters.
leg, it's Kelvin to throw first. Game on.
14 points between the pair in regards to the averages at the moment.
108.
Well, that's just come down a bit.
He. $93. 85.
I think maybe he was thinking about the 9 darter after the opening 180 there. Real rush of blood with dart number 4.
Sometimes those little distractions and those side stories can be a bit of a help as well.
$100.
Just like the previous leg, really. The player that's starting first in complete control.
$134. Kelvin, you require 136. $60.
It looks likely that O'Keefe will level. It came down to one match. It might well come down to one leg.
96. Kelvin, you require 76. Game shot on the
Looking
fourth
that way,
leg,
2-2.
Kelvin O'Keefe.
Only been 1-4-3 all evening, and that 4-3 is pretty much the reason that Brandon Weening's in this
Fifth leg,
position.
it's Brandon to throw
He
first.
lost it to John O'Shea.
Game on.
Best of 3 for a place Saturday night. The final spot.
59.
5 places already filled and confirmed. And if you'd have probably offered this to Kelvin O'Keefe before a dart was thrown, a straight-up shootout to get himself in, certainly coming into this evening when he only picked up the 1 win yesterday, he would have been more than happy with this scenario.
It's just gone wrong, hasn't it, for
60.
the Australians today? Mason Whitlock only picking up the 1 win, losing 4 matches this afternoon. Brandon Weening might be losing 4 matches
85.
and picking up no wins tonight. But he only needs 1 win. That's what we thought at the start of the night, wasn't it? That those players on 6 points were a victory away. It turned out to be true. Weening's left it late.
60.
Interesting to see what Kelvin O'Keefe does on this one, because these mathematics are very questionable, aren't they, at times?
Yeah, 100 doesn't leave a finish. 99 does.
99.
Probably a little fortunate there, because the switch should have really come with dart number 2. But at least he worked it out in the end and does leave a check out. And he needed to leave a check out.
128. Kelvin, you require 160.
But he won't be taking it out. So, having just seen O'Keefe take out 76, Weening will look to return the favour with 74.
Brandon, you require 74.
These are the sort of shots where a lot really lies on dart 1. A little bit tricky there. He's had to move across to try and open up the target.
34. Kelvin, you require 60.
Kelvin O'Keefe be looking for the same target. It's probably a bit of a happy accident.
40.
Give him an open bed, unable
Brandon,
to find.
You require 40.
These are the moments. Now he's hoping, knowing a chance has gone begging.
Game shot on the fifth leg. Brandon Weening
delivers a double, no bother at all. And he's 1 away from securing his Saturday
Sixth
spot.
flag. It's Kelvin to throw first. Game on. $140. $108.
How do they do it under this pressure? With this at stake. Barely missed a treble between them here.
123.
Sometimes it's easier to play games that are like this when the pressure's on and you're both just hitting, because you're not looking for opportunities. You're not, oh, he's missed that chance, I need to step in, and sort of playing the scenarios. You just focus purely on what you've got to do, which is continue to hammer that red bit.
$60.
But there is an opening here for Weening. If he can find a treble or two, O'Keefe is waiting, hoping and praying. He's found one.
97.
Only one, but gives himself an opportunity.
$94. Brandon, you require 124.
It's well poised, isn't it? 84 and waiting. 124 and throwing. And throwing for a place in Saturday's finals. It's a dart at double 11. Clip the wire.
To
have done it in
Kelvin,
style.
You require 84. Game shot on the 6th leg. Kelvin
Well, you've got to take your hat off to the pair of them. O'Keefe would have had his heart in his mouth as he watched
final leg. It's
Brandon Weening attempt that 1-2-4, clip the wire of the double 11, and then step forward O'Keefe. Treble 20, double 12. And the darting destiny for this week, for this pair, comes down to but a single leg. And what a start to it.
That's 2 legs. Brandon Weening kicking off with a maximum. But this time, he's got the advantage of throwing first.
6.
And this time, Kelvin O'Keefe has got no response. Comes up dry. A long way back, plus what's in the hand. 1 treble here. Minimum requirement done on the opening dart.
81.
Well, doesn't need to get too perturbed by that last dart. He's still in a very strong position. Maybe getting weaker, mind. Maybe getting weaker.
180.
Three 180s in a last leg decider between them. And not just the last leg decider of any old match. The match where the winner will qualify for finals night and the loser
41.
will go home.
Brandon,
2 of them for Brandon
requires
Weening.
60.
Quality. 60 left after 9. Kelvin O'Keefe has been hit hard.
Well, 2 chances go begging, but you'll get at least 3 more darts at double to book his place in the finale.
He's on the ropes, but he's still standing, O'Keefe.
60. Brandon, you require 40.
Brandon Weening has lost all 3 of his fixtures tonight. But 1 dart at double will see him qualify.
Game shot on the match.
And in the end,
Brandon Weening.
Weening wins. He KOs KOK and books his place in the Saturday showpiece. He left it late, but the Aussie will be in action at finals night, finishing KO, he's saying. Well, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? I think we'll be hearing from him after the break as well. A 4-3 success over Kelvin O'Keefe. He finishes third, Danny Van Trijp in second, and Shane McGuirk top of the table. We will reflect on all the evening's action after this break. Don't go anywhere.
$54. Charlie McGuirk, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
required
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20, he went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Well, wow, what a breathtaking end to the evening. Brandon Weening with that 4-3 win over Kelvin O'Keefe, getting over the line after, well, making it difficult for himself, losing the 3 matches before then. But he does go through, along with Shane McGuirk and Danny Van Trijp. Shane McGuirk won all of his matches tonight. He felt it was a bit of a hill for him to climb, but he climbed to the top of it. 12 points for him. Van Trijp in second on 10. Weening winning that winner-takes-all match against Kelvin O'Keefe on 8 in third place, and the last one through to finals night. And delighted to say that Brandon has joined myself and Matthew Edgar for a chat. First of all, Brandon, I mean, it finished very, very differently to how last night finished, didn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I was telling Matt earlier tonight when I first walked in that just 2 games I needed to win. I put a lot of pressure on myself to win those games, and the results showed. It all came down to that last game, and I'm very thankful I could win that match. You know, I'm over the moon with that.
What was he a little bit unlucky to be going into that match without a win? We referenced it. He did run into a few decent performances from other players tonight.
Oh, absolutely. There was a couple of really good performances, sort of like mid-90 averages, which you'd normally expect to be enough to pick up the one win that he'd needed at that stage. Maybe it's a bit of both, because actually going into that final game is a bit of fortune that it's still in your own hands after losing those 3 games. One thing you want as a dart player is to have it in your own hands. You don't want to be sat backstage watching a game thinking, I hope he loses, or I need him to pick up so many legs. When you've got it in your hands, you can go up there and you can deliver it. Because what we saw at the end there at 3-3, 2 180s in that leg, that is where you can just control your own destiny.
How much does it mean to you to have made it to Saturday? Because I know you've been kind of waiting for this opportunity. You came over for the Worlds and then Q School, the Masters, and I think, did you delay going back to Australia to be able to play this week? So to have not made it to Saturday, I'm sure would have been a huge disappointment.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have been really disappointing for me not to get the Saturday. But look, if I didn't make the Saturday, look, it wasn't the end of the world. You know, there's still plenty of darts back home for me to play. And I know the people back home in Australia will be happy with the way I played, and yeah.
Just tell us a bit about your experience here in the UK. I know you've been staying with the Whitlocks. Mason didn't make it, of course, to Saturday night himself, but I've seen you here supporting Simon as well. How much of a mentor and how good hosts have they been for you here?
Yeah, look, they've been bloody fantastic. You know, they couldn't do enough for me and my old man. They just couldn't do enough for us. You know, their hospitality's been great, and just to give us a place to stay while we're over here just means a lot to us.
And a couple of decent practice partners as well.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Mason and Simon on the practice board, you know, they're unbelievable.
You have practiced with different people in the past. It's really helpful, isn't it, to have mentors, well, in any walk of life, but particularly in darts.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have that sort of consistency in regards to the practice board and who you can sort of hook up with and find very reliable for you. You've practiced with various different people, but you've always got that one who you sort of pin to, and you say that is where I get my best practice, my best game. And a lot of it doesn't just come down to what happens on the board, it's everything that goes on around it. Because what you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be practicing having a conversation about what happened in the football, or you're in the presence of somebody else, but you're not really communicating as such. You just want to get down to it and replicate that game scenario. So hooking up with other professional-minded people makes it much easier to be able to get that peak performance.
Yeah, I actually saw Simon Whitlock earlier in the week, and I think he played a couple of days. He said he's not shown yet what he can do. You showed it last night, didn't you, with that brilliant performance, a 108 average against Shane McGuirk. How did that feel?
Look, it felt great at the time, but again, averaging's been nothing in this game. It's just an indicator on how well you played. You know, I don't know what did Shane have, a 90 plus?
Yeah, well,
all it just showed I was much closer to him when he was on a finish to when I was on a finish. So yeah, look, 97.1, you know, and to lose 4-1, you know, it's stupid, isn't it? You know, you would have thought that would have been 4-3.
Yeah, but you tonight had some similar things happen, like we said. What we have to give you full credit for is the way you composed yourself in that final game. I know the first leg you were shaking your head a little bit, but after that, full focus, and to hit 2 180s in the last leg decider, you must be pretty proud of that.
I'm very happy with that. Look, I have to thank Raymond Smith for that. He's been a great mentor for me back home, especially when we went over to Denmark for the World Cup. You know, he just said, take it nice and easy, right? And I was out there just saying, look, whatever happens, just have fun. And I had a little bit of fun. You know, I was just thankful to get over the line.
Yeah, because he was pushed as well, wasn't he? Kelvin hit a 180 as well. So, I mean, we were in awe of the both of them in that last leg.
Yeah, at this point, we was just thinking, just get one treble and you're in a very good position. When Kelvin O'Keefe came up dry, the treble goes in with the first start, and you think, right, this is going to be the moment Brandon Weening just extends, and Kelvin O'Keefe comes back with a 180 himself. And it is quite interesting because when Brandon's come and joined us, the first thing he's shown is his hands shaking and trembling, and he said he wants to have fun. And I associate that with having fun because that's adrenaline. And if you think about the amount of money people, I certainly spend it myself, going to theme parks or bungee jumps or different things to get that feeling because it's fun. And it's how you channel it and how you perceive it. Some people don't like the shaky hands. They see it as a sign of nerves, or they see it as a sign of weakness. But if you can actually see it as something you're enjoying and you're embracing, then that's how you can deal with those situations and produce 2 maximums in a leg like that when you need it.
Yeah, well, let's just give you confirmation then of all of the players that are making it through to this week's finals. Richie Howson won Group A, did it very well as well. 14 wins from 15 matches. Shane McGuirk, Danny Van Trijp and Brandon Weening through from Group B, as you've seen tonight. And earlier today, Justin Smith and Henry Coates making it through from Group C. And we can now reveal for the first time who's going to be in what group tomorrow night. So, Brandon, you'll be in with Justin Smith and Shane McGuirk. Another meeting with McGuirk. Group 1 will be Howson, Van Trijp and Coates. How well we've got you, your initial reaction to the group?
Oh, I think it's a great group. You know, I think we're all going to push each other. I think it will be a hell of a night of darts.
Are you still standing by what you said in comms, that there's no real standout favourite, that it's really open tomorrow night?
There's normally one group, isn't there, where you go, that group's stronger than the other, but I don't think that's the case this week. You've normally got a player or 2 players where you want to avoid them. I don't think that's the case this week. So with that, I think we're going to get 2 very heavily contested groups. Do you know what? I'm even going to go far out here, and I'm going to predict that tomorrow we get a 9-dart shootout.
Oh, it'd be great to play in one of those, wouldn't it? Well,
no.
Maybe to watch. Maybe to watch one from the other group.
Maybe. I don't want to be part of one.
Just finally, what would it mean for you to win here tomorrow night?
It'll mean the world, but look, it's one game at a time, one leg at a time.
Yeah, good attitude.
You know, well, the job's not done yet.
Well, well done tonight. You are there. You've got the opportunity. Well done. We'll see you again tomorrow. We'll see you again tomorrow as well, Matthew. Coming next here on the MODUS Super Series Darts channel on Pluto TV, it is Luke Humphreys at the Live Lounge. He came for a chat and a chuck, took part in some darts challenges as well, and we look back at the brilliant career of the world number 1. But don't forget to be here tomorrow evening from 7:30. Saturday night showpiece will get underway with 6 players, all battling it out to add their name to the Roll of Honour for this series and make it through to Champions Week. Brandon Weening has made it from this group. He goes through with Danny Van Trijp and Shane McGuirk, and it's looking like another very open finals night. We'll see you again tomorrow, 7:30.
What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is...